Alright guys, welcome to the world premiere of Movie Time. That's right guys, and it's your host Mike Spider Slayer. Guys, like I said before, I recently came across a whole bunch of DVDs that I didn't even realize that I owned. A lot of them are comic related material. So for time to time, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see some movie reviews that happen to do with maybe action movies or comic related movies, but mostly on the comic related stuff to stay true to my genre. So today's premiere episode has to do with this actual movie right here, and it is bam, Green Lantern Emerald Knights. I got this movie, I don't know, a couple years ago maybe, and when I moved, I packed it away. Didn't realize I actually had it, and today we're dealing with this tropical storm Andrea over here in Florida. So I decided to, you know, pop it in and see what it was about. And I had some extra time, so I wanted to review this actual movie. And let me just tell you, this movie was awesome. Um, in fact, I like this movie better than the actual real Green Lantern movie. The animation in this particular movie was phenomenal. Warner Brothers always tends to put out phenomenal movies. DC movies are just so much better, like their animated movies are so much better than Marvel movies. And this Green Lantern movie was phenomenal. It was so enjoyable. What did the story have to do about? Well, the Emerald Knight story has to do with Hal Jordan explaining um, to Arisha about all the history of the Green Lantern Corps, which was so nice because it's like almost if you're not a fan of Green Lantern or you're not familiar with the story of the characters, it's a great movie to get to learn the history about them all. It's like a awesome jumping on point for a comic book, and the stories were so well told, and it was just it was great. I enjoyed everything, and the main story has to do with our Lantern Corps having to deal with shadow demons and actually Krona. He's coming out of the sun, and Oa has been abandoned, and things have been taken away, and the Corps has uh, come banded together to prepare for this massive battle. Well, in waitings of this actual battle, we see a new recruit, and the new recruit is Arisha. And Hal Jordan does all the explanations about what the Corps is about and certain main characters in the Corps. And the first story, which was really good, talked about the first Green Lanterns, and it had to do with the first four lanterns. And one lantern was a scribe, and it shows how they did battles against, the war and how the universe was young and how these first four lanterns handled willpower, and it was great. And you get to see the first constructs ever made, and you get to see how the rings were passed on, and that was a great story. The next short story was about Sergeant Deegan, who was actually kind of like what Kilowog is now, the drill instructor, and everything that Kilowog learned was from Sergeant Deegan. Sergeant Deegan was an asshole, man. He put people through lava pits and he put the Corps through all kinds of nonsense, but just trying to get them stronger, realizing that, once you put on the ring, it's not your life anymore. You're for the Corps. And Kilowog, in a way, looked up to him. And it was a really touching story about Sergeant Deegan. And that's why Kilowog has such a hard ass attitude because it's his mentor. The next story was one of the most touching stories for me. It had to do with Lara coming home to her home planet and facing her father uh, for, I guess, control of the planet. And it was a really touching moment because it was between father and daughter. And you know how much you love your father and how much your father loves your daughter, and it comes to grips at the end of the story that they have to do battle against each other. And while you're doing battle, you see like holograms open up as he was, you know, a young dad and he was a little girl, how they spent time together while they're trying to kill each other. Oh my God, it was such a touching moment in the actual story. It was so intriguing. It was awesome. And then the funniest story of them all was the story of Mogo and this character called Bafunga. Um, Bafunga was this warrior that could kill anybody out there, and he would take any challenge. And his greatest challenge was to defeat Mogo, and not knowing that Mogo was a living planet and that he was a Green Lantern, and he spent weeks and days and months trying to come across Mogo, trying to find out what he is, and then he finds out the ultimate, uh, I guess, truth of what Mogo really was in the end, and the outcome was just phenomenal. And then in the last story, we talk about Sinestro talks about Avenger and how they go to capture Atrocitus before he was a Red Lantern. And once Atrocitus is captured and put in jail, he tells Avenger of the future of the Green Lantern Corps, and a particular corps that is going to destroy Oa, and that corps was the Yellow Corps. It was a great story, that one. And then at the end of the movie, you get to see the battle between Krona and all the lanterns, and where Arisha actually fits into the whole thing of the movie. So altogether, it was a phenomenal movie. I enjoyed it tremendously. The only thing I wish I got to see was a little bit more Hal Jordan in the actual movie. He was the storyteller for the most part. However, you did not see anything really with him do very much battle or story of himself. But at this point, we all know how Hal Jordan became a Lantern. It was great to see the supporting cast on how their stories actually came to be. So this was a great movie. I am so happy that I actually had time to watch this movie. I'm going to give it a 5 stars. If you guys have a chance to go pick this up and you haven't yet, I would suggest go out and pick out Green Lantern and Emerald Knights. Great storytelling here, phenomenal animation, and DC hits this nail on the head. So I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 5. So guys, tell me your favorite DC movie. I know there's a lot of them out there. I haven't watched very many of them because I don't get a chance to watch many movies. But tell me your favorite DC movie, or maybe your favorite Green Lantern movie animated series. And would you like to see more animated movies from DC on the big screen instead of going for all these blockbuster hits? Because I feel that you can actually do more with animation this way. And as long as the storytelling is well and the voice acting is done right, everything will, fall into place. So again, guys, tell me your thoughts below in the comments below, and also tell me what you thought of this first movie review. So guys, this has been the world premiere of Movie Time with Mike Spider Slayer. And guys, until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer saying see ya, and thanks for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. Take care, everyone.